Sharp pain pierces your head and the light dims in your eyes. You smell smoke and burning and you feel a wave of nausea. Your legs buckle and your knees hit the metal floor. In that moment, the manufactorium surrounding you disappears in a whirlwind of mist, ash, and grey shadows. Struggling against the elements, you can barely raise your head to look. Your eyes sting and burn, but the tears, you see it, a colossal silhouette rising above you. The roaring tempest is unable to shake the mighty figure. Who or what are you? The warrior's inhuman eyes bore into you. I am the master of those who have been felled by your hand in the halls of the primordial truth. I am Urlon the Cruel. The souls of my followers returned to the fount of my powers they served, crying out for me to cast my gaze toward the sacrilege. What do I see? Yet another lackey of the corpse emperor. They call you a hero, an empty word, a worthless pedestal among the hundreds like it, all built by the lackeys of the false god and their hubris and the ignorance. This pedestal will soon become a sacrificial altar, and you will become yet another reminder of the expanse that no hero can save it from the truth. The giant's voice causes the storm raging around you to die down somewhat, as if the very sound of this voice is enough to make whirlwind subside, and you glance at the huge warrior and notice his chest, a winding azure symbol. The shades of the blue seem to glimmer and mingle together. I am the sovereign of Kiavagama. This is my world, not a dominion of chaos. Oh, clinging to illusions will do you no good. The rituals have already been performed. The mortals have already singing their litanies of the primordial truth, or decorating the sacrificial altars with their flesh. Kiavagama, as you call it, is already saturated in the nectar of the truth, a fate that awaits all the worlds that would stand in our way. Where are we? Where have you taken me? This is the bridge that connects our minds, created by the will of my slave, whose fate you should be envying. The cipher is useful enough to me to be left alive, you less so. What do you want with me? I want to look upon the one who has disrupted my flock's duties and my master's plans. That warrior from my legion, the fabricator censor. You think of their deaths as a triumph, however, it is but a minor hindrance on our path. There are other worlds that serve our goals. There are other sources of plasteel and adamantine. Revel in your victory, it will change nothing. Nevertheless, the blood in your veins whispers to the spirits that you warrant a closer look. Yes. You are a descendant of the rogue trader whose warrant Conrad Vogtvir sought to obtain. By defiling the relic and binding it to himself with the tethers of the Empyrean, he was meant to become my servant, a rogue trader who would do the work of the truth. But then you interfered. Could it be that you wish to gain the true God's favor instead? Do you wish to represent the corpse's relic to me and serve the truth? Hear your very blood calling, begging you to submit to me. What would be the point of futile defiance? We have an iconoclast option, a heretical option. You waste your time trying to tempt me, but it is not blood that defines a person's deeds, only their will does, and my will is thus begun from my mind. Why don't I have a dogma option? Maybe if I rise to my feet? Another will bears down on you, but as soon as you awaken your own powers, your soul fills with a defiant resolve. Conquering the weakness and pain, straining every muscle in your body, you slowly rise to your feet, straighten and stare Uralon straight in the eye. He smiles, but there is no mirth in his eyes, only malicious curiosity, the kind with which one looks at an insect with its wings torn off. This isn't your first time meddling in the deeds of the world bears. You were there on Rycat Minoris, and so I want to know if you hold in your hands that which is not yours to hold. And you will tell me yourself. He utters a few words in an unknown tongue over his shoulder, and you feel your head being clamped by an unseen vice. The sensation is familiar, for this is not the first time the shadow warp sorcery has fallen heavily upon you. You close your eyes and cast aside all thought, and your inner horrors cry out and rise against the will of another. You survived a brush with the warp phenomenon sometime in the distant past. A gust of wind sweeps Urlon's figure away without a trace. The mist around you begins to dissipate, revealing the dark halls of the Manufactorum and leaving behind an oppressive sense of powerlessness. I sensed the presence of another psyker. Someone made contact with you mentally, then tried to harm you with sorcery. I did what I could. You at least appear unharmed. Can you remember what you saw? It was a Chaos Marine, one of the traitors to the Imperium. I don't think it was he who touched your mind. I wouldn't have had the strength to go up against a psyker from the ranks of those monsters. He might have forced some mortal to do his bidding. Perhaps it was through the same hapless medium that he sensed the deaths of his henchmen. Such indescribable power to have reached out to your mind at such a distance. He said something about Theodora, about how the blood in my veins will lead me to serve chaos. I probably should not mention that to Heinrichs. It doesn't matter, the sooner I forget about it, the better. Heinrich eyes you suspiciously, then reluctantly nods. The Manufactorum around you looks the same as before the vision. Maybe the shadows have grown a little deeper and darker. You dust yourself off and consume on your journey through the darkness. Okay. And that is the end of Kiavagama. Ancient machinery and energy core. The world's industrial heart has fallen to corruption, but numerous faint Vox signals from the periphery indicate that the planet's small manufacturing clusters survived without succumbing to the heretics. The sacred machines and hollowed laths from those abodes have been reverently transported to the safety of the ship's holds. The fate of Kiavagama hangs in the balance. Starting to stutter a lot. Purify and restore Kiavagama no matter the cost. We got 15 dogmatic points, that is pretty good. 3 mobile extractums. The servants of the Adeptus Ministrotum heeded the call and began to assemble a holy crusade to purify Kiavagama. It will take much time and effort to root out every tendril and corruption lurking in the dark corners of the Manufactorum. And we can now start to build stuff here. We can get access to 2. 1 mechanism. This weapon deals wielder's lore Xenos. More damage to Xenos. Okay. We get a plasma gun, but I think what we have is better. Whenever the wearer ends their turn, they deal number of adjacent creatures warp damage to each adjacent creature and to the wearer themselves. It is a heretical piece, so I can't use it. The wearer also deals additional conviction heretical warp damage to enemies. Well, definitely going for this for the sake of getting 2 of these, and I think that'll be enough to unlock other stuff from the other planets. Let's take a quick peek. We can get extra stuff in exchange for this. Very nice. Okay. The Rogue Trader gains plus 10 tech use. I mean, it doesn't sound amazing. Let's see. Plus 4 to the prow plating. The ram of the flagship causes internal fires. The number of fires depends on the size of the target. Okay. Ooh. Holy shit. Okay. We definitely want this. Unless enemies suffer 10% to their evasion. So mostly it's a bunch of flagship passives. But I would rather get this. So we have to find a way to do this in the future. But for now, once this project finishes, it'll give me 2, right? And I need... it's not on this planet, but... I'm gonna grab this. Janus. We need... how many? Just the 1? And we needed another one for something. Was it Foulstone? No? Let's do this one. At least we can get the best medkit in the game. Well, there is better, but this one removes traumas. Which is definitely what we need. Why did we want extra mechanisms? I'm pretty sure there was a reason. Well, whatever it is, at least now we know that we can do the medkit stuff. Lordship Captain, our astropathic choir received a message from Darkonis. The noble house has expressed their gratitude for the restoration of trade routes between the remaining Von Valencia's planets and expressed their deepest condolences for the loss of the worlds that did not survive these dark times. In addition, Governor Drivestem has sent a private message to your lordship. I humbly ask the Rogue Trader for an audience, so may deliver it. Okay. Lord Captain, permission to report. Your wise Lex Mechanics have analyzed the state of the Protectorate. They believe that thanks to your decisive actions, the acute phase of the crisis has passed. The domain of the Von Valencius dynasty is no longer facing dissolution and ruin. In honor of such a resounding triumph, Dargonus, as the capital world of your dynasty's domain, is currently making preparations for the Magni Sissio, a grand ceremony of your public induction, as the heir of the Honorable Theodora von Valancius. What is the ceremony? I swear an oath and I shake a lot of sweaty hands. That much is certain, but that's not all there is to it. There will also be a reception, as well as other noble guests. The distinguished rogue traders Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Corda will be in attendance. It will be a great honor for Dargonus to host 3 illustrious dynasties at once. Your servants wish to know your opinion on 2 matters related to the ceremony arrangements. The first of which, what festive activities are to take place in the capital on this glorious day. I wish to hear prayers and witness the people's faith. Execute every known embezzler, scoundrel, and con man. I will begin my reign by purging my realm of vermin. These are my only 2 dogmatic options. I think we'll go with the prayers and witness the people's faith. It will be done, the Emperor protects, House von Valancius. The second matter on your servants' minds is, which of the 2 of your closest companions will be given the honor of standing by your side during the ceremony? I will go with J, since we have like a romantic thing going on with her. It would only make sense. The more enterprising of your subjects will take note that you value a person's abilities over their lineage. And who will be your second companion? I mean, it doesn't really affect what you do, so we'll go with Argenta. All hearts will burn. All whose heart burn with the fire of faith will appreciate this gesture. I will see to it that your instructions are delivered to Darconus. The master of ceremonies at the palace will report to you when the capital is ready to praise your name. Okay. Magnus, following the Omnici's guidance, requests permission to execute the report protocol that entails describing suboptimalities within the recent operations of the ship's system and subsequently proposing the appropriate course of action. Deliver your report, just do so in a way I can understand, no more than 1 pearl of tech wisdom per 5 sentences of an intelligible human speech. Yeah, I'm listening. Initiating exposition. With the Omnici's blessings, I conducted several sessions of tech mediation in an effort to transpose the available data streams into a matrix of patterns. The data subjected to this analysis comprised evidence of deviations in the operation of the ship's systems and servitors, as well as irregularities in the algorithm of the ship's logs. I have arrived at the following conclusion. This vessel's machine spirit is most extraordinary. A full cycle of sacred diagnostics must be performed, followed by a complementa ritual. This ritual will force the spirit responsible for these recent events to reveal itself. Once it does, we will be able to understand its nature and take applicable to said nature. Okay. Let us proceed with the ritual. You have my gratitude, Magnus. I will notify my tech comrades to begin their preparations for their complementa ritual at once. Oh. Despite the resounding hum on the tech priest's words of prayer, the bridge feels unusually quiet. All sound sinks into the vicious silence like pebbles sinking into water. Why didn't it give me the option to insert the data, then? Magnus, my tech comrades have spent the assigned number of cycles in prayer and vigil. Everything is prepared for the complementar ritual of cleansing. Its commencement will require an authorization key in the form of blood. If you are ready, place a hand in the cyber gargoyles receiving module. Okay. The familiar cold metal burns your palm. This time, however, the servitor's jaws, instead of brutally clamping down on your hand, merely squeeze it slightly. You feel a thin rivulet of hot blood beginning where the metal fangs have pierced your skin. Screeches and growls slowly rise from the bowels of the massive cogitator as if a great beast is staring awake. The vid screens in front of you flicker restlessly. Key accepted, activating purgation protocols. Suddenly the vicious silence of the bridge rushes toward you and wraps you in a tight cocoon. The glow of the vid screens dims, but the symbols on them flare to life. I might have a reason as to why I couldn't. Maybe if I go back to the ship quicker before going to the big map, we have a chance to finish that other quest, which leads to the secret ending. Sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your hand, the key of gamma data. The tech priest connects the data slate to the cogitator's drive with such care as if he is holding the greatest of treasures. The servo motors hum as they begin to stir, and lines of the text on the screen swiftly replace one another. The great mechanism has transformed the secret data into a format that you can comprehend without the assistance of a servant of the Omnissiah. The databank decryption procedure has been completed without The tech priest stops short. The green lights of his visor fixed on the cogitator's vid screens flicker nervously. Why? Reporter Unit Q590, Research Group. The tech blight is capable of corroding matter and destroying it from within at a terrifying speed. This deadly plague infects mechanisms as well as any metal and other materials used as their basis. No technology known to the Crimson Priesthood, neither gifts from the Great Omnissiah nor heretical products of Xenos, can withstand this onslaught. The disease poisons and warps. The very essence taints the code of sacred mechanisms. Observations: the tech blight triggers an effect that is repulsive at its core. It transforms metals into horrific forms of an unpredictable nature. During testing, it demonstrated the ability to fuse solid matter with organic objects, creating something new as a result. The phenomenon was assigned the name tech splicing. Method of transportation: ceramic capsules. Burnt clay is the only thing that can contain the pestilence. Extra caution must be taken given the container's fragility. Any damage might result in an uncontrollable outbreak. Damaging the containers is unacceptable. Tests to subjugate the tech blight to his will and turn it into a weapon subject to the Omnissiah's wisdom. The test result: assessment success. The test triggered an event recorded under the name Incident N87204. The quest to knowledge in his name will continue. Hypothesis 1. The tech blight was created in the darkness of unknown worlds, away from the eye of the great creator. Hypothesis 2. Any taint that exists to harm the machine God's creation can and will be bent to his will. Interesting. Strings of numerical code begin appearing with frightening speed. This time with numbers are whatever the fuck, with words you can understand, and those words from legible sentences. Epitaph brought her to the beginning. Epitaph begot the incident, that which destroyed and changed everything. The incident became the starting point. The incident breathed life and marked the beginning of all. It marked the beginning of Numos. It created Numos. Unacceptable deviation, violation of the sacred protocols, possibility of tech heresy. Omnissiah, shield us from all heresy. A few moments later, the vid screen darkens and flickers to life again. What was that just now? I saw a word among the lines of code. Numos. What does it mean? That is a mystery to me. If this mechanism truly is tainted, then could it be? If heresy truly has taken hold of this machine's spirit and scorned the Omnissiah's every tenant, then the spirit's madness could be such that it has chosen a name for itself. But that is nothing more than my hypothesis. Your incompetence is appalling. The Road Trader's cogitator is rebelling, and your so-called assistance is utterly worthless. You will report this to Pascal. My knowledge is insufficient to cleanse the code of this mechanism. I will inform the esteemed Engineer Prime of this disturbing development. Only he has the power to expel the heresy from this corrupted machine. Okay, well, that finishes the steps leading to the secret ending, which I still believe is not accessible for a dogmatic playthrough. Nonetheless, what the fuck is that? The drawing of the bulkhead of the bridge looks relatively recent, and you certainly gave no order for it to be done. You do not recognize the whimsical symbols. Okay, let's walk away. Quick save and try to pull off the thing. Lore Imperium examined the drawing carefully. With some effort, he managed to make out that the interweaving lines are intersectly stylized letters, and you think you have encountered them before. It is a language from somewhere in the Calixis sector. Raver, what is this? Mistress Hidari's shenanigans. She gave the order for this thing to be painted. God Emperor as my witness. I haven't got a clue what it is, but I don't like it. Jay, explain this, please. Jay looks at the drawing grinningly, smugly. Do you like it, Shireen? I think it fits in wonderfully with its surroundings. What the fuck? You have not answered me. What is it? It's a phrase in dialect from Ifrit. It says, Magnus carries in his chest a heart that passion has woven with Jay's heart. May their affection burn blindingly bright for the glory of the Exalted One. It is a loose translation of the most famous love poetry from my world. Okay. You really love drawing attention to yourself, don't you? Yeah. Apparently so. In a way, it does look interesting, I guess. Why did you have this painted here? So that these proud words will inspire your officers. They will perform great deeds and overcome the most fearsome enemies under the banner of our love. Seriously. Pleased with herself, Jay looks at you with a mischievous grin. Jay says nothing, but her face breaks into an enigmatic smile. Fine. Right you are, Lord Captain. What's my bridge turning into? Shireen, I knew your soul would resonate with these great lines of verse. I will read you this poem one day, and you will say, by the Exalted One, it's about us. Oh my god, Jay. What an oddball. But I'm gonna play along. I want to see how far she can take these fucking crazy shenanigans. This only inspires me to play her more, but as I stated for the third time, her officer talents suck balls. So Alright, I'm gonna breeze through the text and get to the point where I had to reload. So, we picked the prayers option, we picked J, then Sister Argenta. I'm listening. I will not waste time. Oh, what the f... Bro, please. I wanted to initiate the bullshit for the secret ending, bro. After this whole sequence, I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm starting to get very impatient. I'm hungry also. And as evidently making a lot of mistakes, so. Oh god. Let's do this quickly. Okay. As soon as the thought of pulling your hand crosses your mind, the servitor's jaws clench with all their frightening might, but pain shoots through your brain like a white-hot needle. Hold. Magnus, note the... Pascal's voice cuts off abruptly. He brings a hand to his Vox communicator in surprise. Quiet. Hello. Numos. The entity, it's here. Do something. Okay, hello to you too. Numos are glad to be speaking. Numos are here. Numos have long been here. Why are we here? I don't know. What are you? Numos, we are Numos. Is it Pokemon or something? Pascal uses his hands and McAndrea itches to gesture at his silent Vox system. Did you silence Pascal? Numos wanted no disturbance, only quiet. This is fantastic. Let's have Pascal be quiet for a moment. Make it stop now. Extraordinary. Pascal's Vox caster comes alive with an exclamation. Extraordinary transmission jamming. Unknown protocols. What has been revealed to me? It is the omniscience glory or the foul tech heresy. I would like to. But what is Numos? No data available, no answer. We want to know too. I see no such name in the archives. It is not among the names of revered machine spirits, but neither is it among the known virus entities. The spirits is referring to our toils, the complementa ritual, and the rites that preceded it. The spirit is troubled by them. Are you a machine spirit? Numos do not know. Numos do not know themselves. This spirit may not possess self-awareness yet, but its capabilities, I would like to start with 100-cycle vigil at the cogitator and the rite of communion. Pascal looks back and forth between the glow and vid screen and you, embroiled in some internal conflict. Numos, welcome learning. The spirit is referring to our toils. Okay, yeah. What do you want from us, Numos? Are you afraid, friend or foe? Numos von Valentius, we are your blood. Numos are a sentinel. We awoke when the strange light invaded the ship. We protected you when you needed help. We escorted you when you were surrounded by danger. Numos our movement. We carry you through the frightening, the waiting, the measureless. We helped when our ailing heart was refusing to awaken. You asked for rescue, we did as you asked. The warp engine activation against all probability during our escape from the Rycat system, the Category 3 miracle manifested by the ship's machine spirit. And the part about protecting, was it during the cultist attack? We did everything to please you. Why? The silence on the bridge grows especially deep, almost painful. The haze of light around you thickens to the point of becoming practically tangible. Numbers ripple across all the vid screens at once. Why do you fear us now? I do not fear you, I am trying to understand you. Shivers run up your hand, which is still trapped inside the Cyper gargoyle's jaws. The servitor nods its head a few times as if it is shaking your hand. Its teeth rake your already wounded flesh. Numos are glad. Numos enjoy understanding too. Magnus, entities such as this one ought to be addressed using the language of sacred rituals and offerings. Your unskillful meddling bodes ill. A decision is required of you. Either the incomplementa ritual is finished, or it is replaced by a rite of tech communion. In the first scenario, the entity Numos will be banished and the sacred data hells where the entity dwelt will be reset. In the second scenario, we will appease the entity and learn more about it. No, Numos do not want to be banished. Numos want to help. Numos want to understand. Oh. Let's start by clearing certain things up. Were you the one responsible for the ship's malfunctions? And what about the strange entries in the ship's logs? Yes. Numos did that. Are you angry? We only wanted to understand to see how things worked. Pascal, what is your take on this? Is this entity a benevolent machine, spirit, or a monster? Pascal says nothing for a long time. For so long that you begin to suspect that Numos has silenced him again. When at last the tech priest speaks, his vox-modulated voice trembles slightly. Understanding the essence of the entity Numos is beyond my reach at the present moment. The hypothesis spectrum ranges from the extreme of abominable intelligence to the extreme of the Great Spirit and the omniscient apostle. The rite of tech communion appears to be a reasonable solution. Then the rite will take many cycles, but it will allow me to come closer to identifying the entity and making contact with it. What else can you do? Numos learn, Numos try new things. Do you want to see? The cyber gargoyle slowly turns its head, dragging your hand along with it. The skull's eyes flash red. The scarlet gaze falls upon one of the monotonously chanting junior technomats. You blink, and an electric discharge erupts from inside the technomat's skull. The crimson-clad figure slumps to the floor. Does it please you? Do you want us to do it again? Magnus, you're provoking the machine spirit. Stop. Numos, enjoy communication. Magnus is our blood. In the name of the Emperor, and by the will of the rogue trader von Valentius, I order you to stop. On this ship none but I and the Imperium's laws can dictate who lives and who dies. We understand now. We may only stop functions of living things when you tell us to. You will tell us, will you not? We enjoy doing things with you. I've heard enough, Pascal. Finish the ritual and banish this thing. I've heard enough, Pascal. You are to investigate the nature of this entity until we know the truth. Numos is allowed to exist on the ship. I think the next step, if you want to unlock the secret ending, is to allow it to exist. So we're gonna do this. Numos want to learn what we are too. We will add things to your log, things that might help us, help you. The right questions may jog his memory. The Voxmaster may be able to tell the rogue trader something of substance. Talk to the officers, talk to Abelard. Okay. Pascal lets out something resembling a long breath. The decision is made. I will begin my preparations for the communion rite at once. Many cycles of interaction with the entity Numos await me, but I welcome this task and accept it from the Omnissiah. Numos are glad. Magnus, will you speak with us too? We want you to speak with us too. The Lord Captain's body lacks the sacred implants necessary for tech communing with the machine of spirit's code, but if such is your wish, Magnus can converse with you using lowly sound speech as he is doing right now. I will speak with you, Numos. Numos are glad we have been lonely. Our work here is done, Magnus. I will let my tech comrades know that we are stopping to the Complementa ritual. Thank you for appearing before us, Entity Numos. Alright. Well. Oh, is this permanent? It is. Wow. Very nice. Okay, well. I'm gonna stop here. I think we have done too much. We've been streaming for almost 10 hours. Shy of 3 minutes, but yeah, 10 hours. And I have a lot of editing to do. And then we will carry on either tomorrow or whenever we have the liberty to do so. So with that, thank you for watching, and have a good day.